Township of Cohasset, April 18th, regular meeting, testing.
But I think it's faulty.
Call this meeting to order at 7 p.m. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given to the Express Times and Star-Gazette, satisfying the requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act. Will you please stand for a silent prayer and flag salute?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do I have a motion to pay the bills presented in proper form, signed by the director of each department and approved by the majority of members on the bill list? We'd also include a bill to the Horizon Blue Cross, that as well.
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Babinski, Ortel, Slack, Vangelli,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes.
Mayor, you forgot the minutes.
Oh, thank you.
Probably on purpose.
Do I have an approval of the February 21st meeting minutes?
Okay.
Can everyone take them, Wanda?
Everyone except Councilman Ortel has to abstain.
So moved.
Oh, tell us that. Okay. I'll second that.
Okay, Babinski, Ortel abstains, Slack, Vangelli,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes. Public comment pertaining to agenda items. Any public comment on any agenda items?
I'm new at this. My name is Jenny Hanisak. I'm very emotional, and I've been an employee here for 19 years. And I've been a loyal employee, never abused any sick time, any vacation time. And I've come to my knowledge that we are amending the policy for the payout of sick leave, of which I have quite a bit. And there's the amendment in November, I believe. The payout at that point was raised to $15,000. To be honest with you, I didn't even consider ever getting anything. Well, now I find out that we're going to amend this and probably get absolutely nothing for 19 years of my service to this town. And it's not even a matter of the money to me. More so is I've dedicated a lot of time of my life for 19 years to this town. I do not feel like any of us non-contractual employees have ever been appreciated, and especially in the past 5 years. And I'm directing that towards you. I'm sorry, but that's just exactly how I feel. We've had other mayors before, totally appreciated. And it just feels like many of us women have been discriminated against in many ways. And by doing this amendment, in whatever way you do it, I just feel that you are really doing a slap in the face. And whatever you do, it's up to you. It'll be on your conscience, because I've worked hard here, and I've loved my job, and I really don't want to leave. I have many friends here, and I felt that I've earned my retirement. That's all I have to say.
Well, with response to that, we are not eliminating the sick pay. It's going back to what it was before November. That was not supposed to be increased to that amount. I think that was an inaccurate amount that was put in the contract, so it's going to be what it was for the past, I don't know how long, over 10 years. I'm not talking about your tenure here, I'm talking about what it's been for the personnel policy. It's been $8,000 for as long as I can remember, so that's what we're bringing it back to. And in the future, we would like to move towards eliminating it altogether, but obviously we understand that that's for new employees, so we're not doing anything to current employees. We're amending to what it should have been. And with respect to your comments, I do take great offense to that, with respect to the comments that this is only towards female employees. I will be negotiating this with every contractual employee when their contracts come up. This has nothing to do with anyone's individual performance at all. There's a lot of things that are happening around the state of New Jersey that we need to take action on this, and this is something that has been in place, and we're amending our policy and looking to do things in the future. Ultimately, it's a vote of council to have this, so that would have to be a full council decision, but this is something that we are trying to put in place because of what we believe, or I believe, was not correct in our personnel policy. So there will not be zero payout for employees. Is there any other public comment on any agenda items? It's on the agenda.
Rennie Melvin, 41 Winners Road. I know this was brought up at the last meeting, and I've done a lot of thinking on this. First, I think what I want to say to the council is that this community voted for every single one of you to sit on this board and to do what's right for these residents. You know, unfortunately and fortunately, we all are very close and have good friends in this community, police officers, administrative people at the municipal building, council, land use board, other commissions. But you as a council need to set aside those friendships and do what's right for the community, whether we like it or we don't like it. And sometimes those things happen. I think that, you know, number one, there's no federal law that states that any company needs to or has to give vacation nor sick time. And I think it's wonderful when an employee, you know, does not use their sick time for any purpose other than being sick. And any person that does actually is creating a fraudulent type of situation. So I know that, you know, where I work and when I was in HR, we did have people that abused it. They, you know, they had to have a certain amount of days off. If they were sick, they had to have a doctor's note. And I know that's not across the board with everything. It's not to be used as a pension. It's not to be used as a payout. And unfortunately for this person here, you know, she's been here 19 years. I don't know the, you know, her contract, or if she had a contract, didn't have a contract, what she was promised, what she wasn't promised. So that's somewhat disheartening. However, you as a council need to realize, and I know you do realize, because we've heard you talk about it, Sal, too, that this community can no longer afford to keep paying out for everything, all these benefits and such. It's wonderful, and if we were a real rich community, you know, that would be great, but we're not. People are hurting here in this community. They can't pay their taxes. Look how many houses are sitting empty, foreclosures, people are moving out. They just can't do it anymore. So as a council, the people that we voted for to look out for those particular things within our community, we really appreciate the fact that you really realize that and put the friendships aside. You know, I can feel for people. I don't know the situation, like I said. However, I don't agree with as far as saying this is discrimination against women. I work with men and women every day, and I see women get treated sometimes a lot better than men. Women have a lot of extra benefits when it comes to maternity leave, sick care for children, and all sorts of other things. So I disagree with that. I do think the mayor has done a good job. I think council has done a good job, but we need to do better. We need to do better for the financial purpose of, you know, the residents in this town. I hope you'll take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? agenda items?
Jerry Kernplack on. My understanding is this is for new employees coming in. No sick days. I don't have a problem with it at all. Quite frankly, I don't believe they should be getting them. I guess there's employees here that do get them now, so it's a little tough to take them away. But definitely people coming in shouldn't be getting them, without a doubt. I've never received one. I didn't even get days off. I think they get paid plenty. They don't realize it because they're not out in the private sector. But new employees definitely shouldn't be getting sick days. Thank you.
I don't know why that was.
Well, I think Steve's going to go with Jim, and again, there was some discussion. We have been generally trying to equalize fringe benefits, vacation, sick time, et cetera, between contractuals and non-contractuals. And to the point being, we've actually been working fairly hard to eliminate, health insurance wraparounds, longevity payments. This is another area where I think our next round of contracts, the contractuals, again, at least for new hires, we're looking to reduce or eliminate payments for sick time and retirement. So we've been working pretty hard at that because it's actually on our best practices checklist. The state's encouraging municipalities to take hard look at this. But I think to step up from 8 to 15, some of the contracts, I think both the PBA and the EPW's contracts have the $15,000 cap. That comes from statute. And by the way, this does not have anything to do with actual sick time. Because years ago, you guys, as a municipality, chose to adopt civil service. You're regulated by civil service rules. Civil service rules require a certain amount of sick time and vacation time. So this amendment is not taking away anybody's sick time. This is purely a retirement provision. So what the statute says, what the regulations require here, and these are non-discretionary on your part, sick time accumulates without limit. Okay? For state employees, civil service mandates that there's a payout, it's called SCORE, supplemental compensation upon retirement. You get a SCORE reading, they look at your, and you can get up to $15,000 in compensation when you retire, if you meet the SCORE requirements. For local political subdivisions, it's not a requirement. You can set it between 0 and 15,000. Jenny's correct. I think it's been 8 or 8,500. I think for quite a few years. So it's just then across the board.
8,000.
It's not across the board. There were a couple of requirements. It was 55 years of age and or 25 years of service with the township, and it wasn't all your accumulated sick time. It was 1/2 of your accumulated sick time, up to 8,000. I think it was 8.
Right. It was 8,000, Kevin, that's right.
We had discussed that, and then again, we got, I think if you guys recall, as the mayor mentioned last meeting, there was an article in the paper that this is basically an unfunded liability for a lot of municipalities. I think we scored the second highest because of our number of police officers and things of that nature. It's nothing we've done. It's just reality. If you technically take each of those people out to retirement at 15,000, it's a fairly large number. So then the idea is to roll it back. Now, initially, when I circulated this resolution tonight, and again, it's just for fun purpose because it is a council decision, it would apply, you guys do what you want with it, but it'd be 65 at the time of the normal retirement age and 25 years of service, and that would apply to employees. And Jim contacted me and said, hey, that's not what I intended. I want to roll it back to where it initially was. So the revised resolution.
Unfortunately, that information was disseminated to employees as incorrect, so we have.
So that
Another issue.
the resolution where we would go, that is on the table for you guys to think about, council, would keep everything the same for current employees. This would be applicable to Jenny's retirement. But we'll roll it back to, actually, it increased $500 for some reason. Somebody told me to put $8,500 into it, so it actually $500 more potential benefit.
Kevin, I verified with the mayor, he wanted it back to 8,000, so I amended your resolution.
Okay. So it would be basically the same as it was before we did the recent personnel policy. The only other change would be new hires would be an eligible, period.
But this is only non-contractual employees, it's not the contractual, which we just negotiated contracts, it should have been negotiated in there, and it wasn't.
We tried, actually, I know, I can tell you, Steve, in the last DPW contract, one of the specific amendments that we went back and forth for 2 years on, we wanted to take the 15,000 down to 8. And we did get, there was a give and take, and we got some things, but we did not get that. So again, something we'll push for next time. I would also note, just for the record, actually, the legislature, there's a bill floating around down in Trenton that would actually cut the cap in half down to 7,500. So anyway, so the resolution, I redrafted it. It would put it back to where it was before for current employees. Okay. And it would exclude any compensation for retirement for a new employee.
Has anybody retired between this and?
No, I think Jimmy would be the only one that this would really affect at this time.
And there's been one hire as a man.
And don't forget, this is only with respect to full-time employees. Part-time employees don't receive it. But there might be a couple of people in the court that ultimately could become eligible at some point, I guess. But and then as the contracts come up, I think it will be definitely one of our negotiations. If you guys got it tonight, it would be effective immediately for new hires. Basically, we would be putting it back to where it was effective immediately.
What about a person like her that is retired?
So it's
retired?
She retired 6 weeks from now, she would get the 8,000, back to the 8,000, not the 15,000. Well, I guess one said.
No, here, it was 8,000. The mayor wanted it to go back to, before it was amended, so that's what it was, 8,000.
The only issue I have is we unanimously raised it to 15. We all thought about it, we did that, and it just looks to me a little suspicious. It's just before someone's retiring, we're knocking it back again, and that's the only thing I don't like about that. And the fact that we renegotiated contracts and it wasn't. I know you said you tried and everything, but, so the non-contractual employees are half of what the contractual employees are. That just doesn't, to me, really suit me.
It's not right, Steve.
Well, when we get to the resolution, that's we can discuss it, and then it's a council decision. I just wanted to clarify that.
And not that I think that it's wrong, believe me, because I live here in New Jersey too, and have 5 properties I'm paying taxes on, and I understand, but it's.
Well, either way.
I'm looking at what's fair and what's been done and how it's being taken away like a couple of weeks before someone's retired.
Well, any other public comment on any agenda items? All right, seeing none, we can move into the agenda report.
There we have an assignment of tax sales certificate on the agenda, and the resolutions that have you sign. It's a tax sales certificate we own that the neighboring property has foreclosed, and they'd like to acquire the property next to it, so it's actually install a septic system. So we're selling that at the full value of the outstanding taxes and interest and carry calculation. So we're doing that tonight. We did get revised color numbers, but I'll get an updated report from you guys, which in Kyle got updated numbers from our expert, and updated numbers from Fair Share Housing Center. And that litigation continues to drag along. It's now been extended to August. Again, I'm doing basically little to nothing on it, try to keep you guys' expenses down. And I think everything else is done on the agenda. I think I've given you a budget hearing tonight, I'm sure.
Good. Well, I would like to amend the agenda and let Mr. Drakowitz give your prepared. John, you get to go now, or you want to? We'll amend the agenda if council's okay to have our bond counsel speak. We haven't seen him in so long.
First of all, John Dyke, given the firm, and to play for being here to speak with the council. We've been asked to come up to chat about your finances and as to how you want to proceed on any type of capital things you have going forward, and also in respect to debt that you have outstanding. And what I have in front of you is what your debt is currently as December 31, 2016, in the auditor's report that was prepared. And where it shows that your debt would be ending in year 2026, as your public bond have long been EIP for a long period of time longer than that. I was approached not that long ago that there might be a refinancing opportunity for your town, which I'll be speaking with an underwriter on shortly. That's something that we can report back to the council, see whether there's some savings that can be associated with your debt that's outstanding, which is fairly limited, but you do have that outstanding from quite some time ago. There is, I think you have no notes outstanding at the present time. You're currently outstanding bond debt, which is terrific financial ability to do that with the other item that outstanding in terms of account. So you have no debt outstanding in terms of new notes that you have for president. But I would also like you to use an opportunity for your council as to what your thoughts would be, as to what you might want to consider in terms of the capital project side, so we can introduce that into your current debt structure. But right now, your debt structure is fairly clean with the debt you have outstanding. A little bit in terms of interest rates, but we've been informed by financial advisors in this industry and our experience on deals with towns that can typically decide. You can borrow short-term financing, probably around 1.25%, 1.45%, that range. Rates have gone up a little bit over the last year and a half in terms of short-term interest rates. If you follow that in terms of the national news, rates have gone up probably from 0.60 to 1.5, 1.4 in terms of one-year notes. So there's been a pretty significant rise in interest rates for short-term rates. Long-term rates are still up relatively at historic lows. We went out with the long-term debt, and for 15 years or so, you've got 2.5% to 3% in terms of your long-term debt. So you can see the difference between a short-term rate of 1.30 to 2.75, and 20 years is fairly non-dramatic. Usually, the rate requires more than that. But based upon the national economy and the economic indicators, the long-term rates are really fairly stable, which should be attractive for a possibility for refinancing with your debt. So, with that, we will take a look at that with a financial advisor just to get a read on it. The complementary deal cost you model to do that. So, I hope we can report back to you at the next month meeting with some financial analysis that will just be in your package that will be there for your review. But in terms of any money projects, there's definitely room to include those if needed because of your current situation. We have no short-term notes.
What's a short-term versus long-term advice?
A short-term meaning is anything up to 12 months.
Okay.
And when you finance anything you do, for the first 3 years, there's no principal payback on the loan. So you can just renew the notes with just paying interest for the first 2 years payback. So it's fairly favorable terms if you ever do short-term financing for a time being. If you ever did a long-term bond financing, there's a relatively significant cost involved because you have to do some. You get bonds rated by a rating agency, official statement printed, auditing fees, bond counsel fees, could come to about $35,000 if you did a long-term bond financing. But many times towns out in Warren County will try to do notes and then probably try to pay those notes off within 10 years. There's 10-year limitations of notes. So if you ever do go out with any capital expenditures, that might be a very attractive way to go. You do notes for 1.25, 1.5 So if you do undertake a capital project, the cost of capital is really still very attractive numbers.
John, thanks for coming, by the way, on bands, bond anticipation notes, the 1 year notes. I think at one point you tell this council or me or something that you want to kind of stay under, is it the $1 million threshold? That's where your costs kick up. So yeah, you want to stay somewhere between 0 and $1 million on a band. Is that right?
It's mostly correct, Ken, which is whenever you do, everyone in long-term bond financing, there's a special exception, which says if you do a deal under $1 million, you can actually enter into an agreement with a bank and to do a transaction of that dollar amount without incurring all those significant costs that I just referred to. There's no rating agency fee, minimal bond counsel fee, minimal auditing fee, very limited cost to do a bond financing with a bank, your local bank most likely. It's $1 million or less. So that would be able to commit you to lock in a rate of say 2.5% for 10, 12, 13 years and get it done at one time. So that's where that comes in, $1 million or less. You have the ability to long-term debt at a fairly attractive price without incurring the relatively significant cost of the public bond.
I think the governing body is thinking some projects with respect to road improvements for bond, and I think that's kind of where we were thinking. Our budget, as you know, I mean, it's very difficult to levy the 2% property tax with the already obligations that we have to pay for, whether or not this governing body will acknowledge them. You know, we have to go outside the bond, and we haven't, you know, seen it.
But I think that's something that this.
You make an interesting point, which I can elaborate on just now, which is when you do projects through a bond ordinance, you pay either notes or a bond, and the debt service on that bond is outside of the cap. So when you do capital projects with cash, right, that's within your cap, right? So if you do a $100,000 project, you don't raise the cap. Without that cash. With pure cash. Okay. But you debt it both outside your cap. So it's not something that would use the town to do a capital project with bond financing.
Essentially, guys, just to make an easy example, if you wanted to do a $100,000 tartan chip project, Steve, like you mentioned tartan chip, so John would prepare bond ordinance for $100,000. You could go to a local bank for a bond anticipation note, the big 1 year note. But, so you got to do the ordinance, you'd have to have 5%. So again, to go back to my $100,000 example, you'd have to have 5% down payment in your budget, which could be in your capital fund somewhere. Maybe I don't know, capital improvement fund, Bill, I don't know what we have in that now. But that's the way it would work. And I'm just picking that number. But if you wanted to finance,
I think it's 100. Is that right? Around 100?
As of 12/31, you have 86,000.
86, okay.
Plus whatever we're putting in.
so you have to give you quite a bit of flexibility, you know, to your 5% down payment. But that's the idea. And then as John said, you know, you can bond at very low bond anticipation notes, you can renew those annually. You don't have to not pay principal pay downs. If you want to retire that in a more efficient manner, you can every year budget, you know, a piece of it inside, some townships do that. So, you know, give you flexibility, that's for sure. And I didn't realize that's very good. I mean, most townships certainly have some bands out, but I didn't realize you had zero out.
Well, we had 817,000 after that, is 0%. We're funding that through the contract.
Oh, yes, because in terms of
Well, we could have went up a BAN for that, but that's that, the 5-year or the 8-year we got for the funding tax ordinance.
Yeah.
Oh, that was for the settlement of the mall.
You know, one thing to note though is when you look at your debt service, which the auditor would have presented to you, if you did do a project of $100,000, $200,000, let's say, you would look at it to see how you best fit into your budget, because even though for the first 2 years you don't pay down requirement, 20,500. And, you know, if you're able to fiscally prove what sure this town is, you'll try to see whether you can fit it in to pay that back earlier. And the reason, people keep financing is, especially for something like the road improvements, is, you know, in terms of the theory, which is, if I'm a resident of town, should I be paying it in today, the full amount of that, while when benefiting somebody for a longer period of time, right? So, in terms of the current taxpayer, you know, if you use property and modestly, as I'm sure this council would do, you would say, hey, what maybe this should be spread over 3 or 4 years, or 5 years, or 8 years, because the asset could actually last for 20 years, right, or 15 years. So, you know, if you went out with it would be, let's say, for a road project that has probably 10 or 20 years to life. So you'd be paying that on a property for 5 or 10 years. So you still be very fiscally prudent because you'd be paying it in a time frame that's probably going to be less than the useful life of that project you just did. So instead of doing it in 1 year, a 10-year project, 20-year project, and 1 year paying today, you could spend it over, let's say, 5 years. But it's still very fiscally prudent because it's still well within the time frame of the asset. Right? So you're not really, not going to borrow money to that thing. Borrowing, you use it prudently, which, you know, that would finance it better with the asset. My example, I was thinking my own head, it would be a house, right? Buy a house. You don't buy the house for $200,000, $5,000 house for 1 year, right? You would pay that over time. Right? Because it's better to, you get in benefit each and every year for that 5 to 10 years, let's say 20 years. So that's the same rationale in financing over the life of the asset, but in a much shorter time frame. Again, it could be sort of abused because it's only the end of 5 years, you do that as well. You would share, you could do that. But usually, if proven that was something that's really long-lasting time, like a road, might be something that has a benefit for a long time frame. From his book, right? That would be a long time frame. So that's the theory, and it works well because again, it came to be outside the tax law. Again, the process, just so you understand what the process would be, an ordinance bond would be prepared, that would go through first reading and second reading, so it's basically effective in 2 months. In order to borrow the money, you're doing a note, bond anticipation note, that only is usually a 3-week process. So it's really fairly quick and relatively inexpensive. You know, you're borrowing $500,000, you know, our fee probably $1,000, so to do that type of borrowing. So the cost isn't really too excessive. And what you would do in terms of, you did do a note, you make sure you borrow it one time a year. So if you had a need in the future for a road or then something else came up, you would try to plan so that new additional financing would be at the time when the other note comes due. Typically, say there's only one transaction, right? So they'll cut down your cost related to the transaction. So we always try to do 1 year, one time only borrowing, even if you had a couple of different projects you were doing over time. That would save you down some funds.
That was going to be my question. So if, let's just use round numbers, we need to do a parking lot out there, let's say it's $100,000. But we also want to do some chip and oil, and we have money already that can be added to that, or whatever, we need another $100,000. You would just do 200 right now, you wouldn't do 100 now and then 100 in 6 months.
Yeah, and what we do, you can do either one of 2 ways, right? You could either raise it $200,000, first of all, you definitely have to do a borrow, for sure.
Okay.
But you would either borrow in advance for one of them, and do one that you need the funds for right now, and borrow in advance maybe 6 months on the other project, or wait the 6 months until both projects are ready. Because usually you have down, they have enough funds to borrow for themselves for a short time frame, and then they would come out and finance it at that point in time. So you always do it with only one borrowing. It's kind of the size that's all.
So yeah, and I know a way to restructure, but that answers the question.
Right, either borrow in advance or spend.
Well, we have some money that we can already do some of this stuff right now, so we can just borrow it later.
Right, you just have to do the ordinance to make sure it's in place, and then you spend the money, and then you replenish yourself with the note in terms of your projects.
And what's the down payment required for the
5% for every 100.
even regardless of the years? short-term versus,
You know,
or it's variable depending
Because
upon.
it's based on the ordinance, you need money not to know the bond, or you need money for the project. So whenever you're doing a project, you need 5% down payment, unless you're self-liquidating, I'm not sure if you have self-liquidating utility, all you things. Not the road, but you gotta have self-liquidating utility, then you no down payment required, or you still put the 5% down. But, yeah, so your typical capital project would be 5% down payment.
Yeah, so I think from us, we should probably start to compile a project list, and then we need to have that done, find out what that'll cost, and then get you involved as far as.
Yeah, one of the things, Mayor, would be, when you would do an ordinance, again, to save cost, right? You wouldn't want to do what you could, I would recommend against it, advise against it. You wanted to buy X. You could do a bond for that project, and 5 months later, you have to have another project. Well, that would add to the cost, right? You have to- Each ordinance costs money to prepare and advertising costs. So, what you would be to prepare what's called a multi-purpose bond ordinance. You would look for, during the course of the year, the next 12 months, and determine if you can, what projects are possible that you want to do, and you could authorize it under a bond ordinance. I want to emphasize though, the bond ordinance itself doesn't mean you're going to borrow the money. Right? It's just an authorization. But what you need to do anyway, it's either done by a bond ordinance or a capital ordinance. So if you think you might want to do a bond on the project, you just do it as a bond ordinance, 5% down, and then you can determine, you know what, I don't want to borrow for that project, or maybe I do want to borrow for that project. But you would also do multiple projects under that bond ordinance. Then you can decide whether or not you want to borrow under for all 5 projects, all 3 projects. And if you put money into the project on the bottom line, it doesn't mean you need to borrow it right away, because sometimes you may think you need something in the first 6 months, and you don't need it for a year. Whatever it is, you wouldn't necessarily borrow the entire ordinance. So a lot of times, towns have a $300,000 bottom line, but borrow only $200,000 for 1 year. And then if you need the money for the other project coming up, then you would borrow the other project you so desire. So, what we try to do is avoid where we think of putting the project together, so it saves money in terms of the preparation of a bond, even though it's not that much, $475. You just do one a year, to do that, the best scenario. Then you decide what time you need to borrow the money, so it's only one time a year. So as each year goes by, next year goes by, you would have to have your mindset so that you would do the same type of situation. When your note comes due, either pay off some of the note, or if you want to do some additional projects, you would borrow additional money at the same time. And the whole purpose of this would be to try to make it as cost effective as possible for the town. So the best case would be one bond ordinance, which should have multiple purposes, and one note sale, so that could put down cost efficiency here as well. And that's probably, the one benefit, if you knew what you were doing over the next couple of years, if you want to borrow under $1 million to go to the bank, because then you only have one cost efficiency. Right? If you knew that, what your project might be for the next couple of years. However, we don't know, because sometimes you don't know what the future is. The note's not a bad way to go, because then you can add to it or subtract to it over time. As long as you take the note off within 10 years. That's what you have 10 years limitation. So you can structure it relatively painlessly, and you just do 1 year with one bond ordinance, and see how it goes with your current debt, so it doesn't become a burden on your tax bill. But the real advantage of it really is to finance it over the life of the asset, so the current taxpayer is paying an unfair portion of that long-term asset in 1 year. But again, if you have cash, that's the best way to go, you have cash.
And we can just I'll sit down here, or we can just give you a call, and we don't need to come back.
But at the same time, I'm going to do that, little exercise to see what your current debt is, in terms of whether that can be financed. And I think it's more than, if it's more than $1 million, I think it is, that would have to be.
I don't want more than $1 million. Just say, I don't think we need anywhere to.
No.
Finance.
The reason is your current debt, you have long-term.
Gotcha.
$4 million rather than 1231. So we'll get that report back for next month's meeting.
But I do think, one thing I think John is where you guys think maybe 24 months, because there's no sense putting John to work for, the 2 projects this year, if you think they're gonna be a couple next year and a couple vehicles or whatever, think in the next maybe 24 months, so that the ordinance is good beyond just the year that they're adopted. That's good until you cancel that debt. Right. So you might as well, think a little long-term, roads, equipment, what have you. Anything in this building, perhaps, you got a couple issues, but, and, like as John said, if they put it all in there, they'll all get a life expectancy rate, and then the ordinance is there. When you decide to spend it or not, at least that part is done. You never have to do it again.
Yeah, the only thing to note would be you need 5% of the project to be authorized.
Right.
But since it's kind of paid most things with cash ready, the 5% down payment requirement probably is not a big deal. And the town's going to use it so aggressive in your capital spending in the tax. That's right. We thought we could plan out, if we can plan that far ahead.
And we also self-policing, bond issuance of $400,000. So that's our limit.
Right.
Thanks, John. Good to see you.
So we'll have a pack together, we'll go through order. At that time, so the future, we guys can also explain some of the advantages that Nancy is working with. We'll present, you have to have at least 3% present compensation. So we just have threshold lingering. Move forward. Then let me look at the process, if you do, because that is to its own. We'll put that next. I have a lot of capital improvements and thoughts.
Write them down.
Write them down.
Write them down.
Write them down.
Okay.
Write them down.
With the estimates of what it's going to cost.
Yeah, that's the key. You gotta get it.
You have to have those.
Is everyone okay with amending to allow, to do the budget now before township council reports as well? Any issue with that? All right, Bill?
Thank you.
Hi, John.
It's your wish, when we introduced the budget a month ago, now we hold a public hearing. Close the public hearing, and if you wish to get the vote to adopt the budget, we're going up about 1.12%. The average taxpayer was going up, it was, on the average home assessed at $169,000. It's going up $1.83 a month, with a local rate of 0 rate.
Okay.
So they're not getting the public hearing, and wish to get the vote.
All right, does anyone from council have any other questions before we open to public hearing? Open, a motion to open budget public hearing?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Okay, Babitsky? Wortel? Slack?
Yes.
Angeli?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes. Any public comment on the 2017 municipal budget? Seeing none, do I have a...
Hurry up.
Rolling there.
So I heard $1.83 per 169K increase on local tax only per month? Gotcha. And the total was, did you say 1.3 million?
No, it was a 1.12%.
Okay. See, that's why I need the visual, see, I'm a visual person. 1 point, give me one more time.
1.12% increase.
And the overall budget increase from last year?
We have grants in now for washes, but, overall budget went down about $93,000.
And what was that attributed to?
Less grants, was the main thing.
Less grants or more grants?
Less grants as of the date of the introduction.
budget. Oh, gotcha. All right. So other than that, is the assumption on my part that the budget is fairly flat compared to last year?
The actual operating expenses are down 1%. And capital expenditures are up 51%.
Thank you. We will to next year look to have, we will look to next year to have visualization with our new CFO.
It just can't keep going on. Capital improvements, parks and so forth.
I appreciate that, Sal, and I'll discuss more during public comment, but I've got a lot of stuff that needs to be done around my house, but I'm on a budget. So it's not just that there's an open check there that I got coming in, I can write whatever I want. So you need to be judicious with the amount you have available to you in the budget. And that's, I think, what the township residents are concerned about, is that that's judicious use of funds. Thank you. Any other public comment on the budget? Have a motion to close it out.
So moved.
Okay. Babinski.
Yes.
Ortel. Slack.
Yes.
Vangelli.
Yes.
Kern.
Yes. Can you
Thank you, Bill. Thank you,
give us
Mon.
PDFs to get online? Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right, now we'll go to township council reports. We got Bill? Dave?
I'll read the police report here, the chief has given me. Activities since the last council meeting, March 21st through April 17th. The police department responded to or documented 1,231 incidents. The department issued 292 traffic summonses and generated 38 criminal charges. Criminal investigation unit opened 22 cases. The department investigated 17 motor vehicle accidents. The department, along with the Huntington Fire Department, had an annual Easter egg hunt at Blackburn School. We had a very large turnout this year and received nice feedback from the residents. The department is currently conducting the distracted driving campaign. The campaign started April 1 and will continue until April 21st. The department secured a state grant allowing extra patrols on the roadway to enforce careless and reckless driving. We will report the number at the May council meeting. That's all I have on the police department. One thing, the environmental commission, we secured the barrels for our rain barrel workshop. Mr. Prasad, myself, and our liaisons on the Watershed Association went, I believe it was last Saturday, not this past Saturday, Saturday before.
Bless you.
To Coca-Cola and Bethlehem, and the Coke company was gracious enough to donate the barrels for the cause. So they are at my place in storage right now, waiting for the workshop. Other than that, Mayor, I have nothing else to add.
Dave, what is a distracted driving campaign? Is that to teach us to be distracted while?
I would hope not. I think we're going to force people on their cell phones and such.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Probably 99%, I would assume, or you still get makeup and such, people trying to put their eyeliner on or whatever. Well, speak for yourself, I've never tried to shave while driving, obviously drive. Yeah.
Sal, you have anything?
Yeah. We have a gentleman from France came here.
Yep.
Oh, you talked to him?
Yeah, that was something. About the dam.
Yeah.
Can you come to your house?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He must have asked 5 million questions, and, I told him the people were in favor of it. It's much, much better now than what it ever was. They started to plant trees along the Muskie, but there still is no fish. They haven't stocked it yet, but there still is no fish there. And, I'll be working on that, see what I can do, and, we'll take it from there. That's all I have to report.
Thank you, Sal.
Where I just want to add one thing, just for the residents, notice, I believe the county has been conducting surveys on the Gristmill Bridge, slated for repairs this summer. So just so everybody knows, at some point that bridge will be closed for repair, and I said they've been out working the last couple of days, and surveying, engineers there, at site, just so everybody knows that's gonna happen over the summer.
Excellent, yeah, the couple projects they're working. Okay. Couple things, the CFO search continues. We should have, I think we'll have a resolution for that very soon with respect to that employee potentially. Our new CFO assistant started and is so far, according to our temporary CFO, doing a great job. To hear with respect to that. I'm not sure where we are with respect to resumes for the position yet. I'm not sure if we checked to see. We should start the interview process with that soon. We did have a power outage on Sunday. I guess there was an issue in Alpha, and when they came out, they made it, they hit something, and so they knocked everybody out, and Powhatan, parts of Greenwich, and Stan Prater. Yeah, you were elected. Stan Prater called and said, "Well, tell people to go outside and grill," and that's started burning down for us. So the timing was unfortunate. Yeah, so. That was that. I don't have anything else. Actually, a couple things. With respect to the Alba Vineyards, are we going to have our officers working that for certain? Okay. And then, what's the system award management system? Does anyone know what that is?
Oh, Mayor, that's, it's the abbreviation for that is the SAM registration, and any entity that wants to get any grant or any funding from the federal government, you have to be registered in that, and that includes FEMA. So that's why we had a SAM registration and it had expired, so we have to renew it.
All right. Thank you. Proclamations, I'll just read the titles. We have designating May as Older Americans Month, and we also, however young you feel. And then we also have designating May 4th as National Day of Prayer. We will have both of these posted online for review. So could I have a motion to take these two proclamations?
We should have a longer prayer period right here. We don't have any.
We can start with prayer.
I must have missed the vote. I don't think we do.
Every meeting we do, so.
He means it's not long enough.
Right to the pledge allegiance to the flag.
Sal, how long you want to pray?
I'd like to pray at least 30 minutes.
You can start at 6:30. Not electricity. Second.
Okay, Babinski, Ortell, Slack, Angeli, Kern.
Yes. Okay, resolutions, I imagine we want to take them separate. So do I have a motion amending the Township of Hackensack Personnel Policy and Procedures Manual to cap the payment of accumulated sick payment upon retirement for non-contractual employees?
Give us the numbers again, Ken.
It's 8,000, basically all.
Exactly the same as it was
As of when.
last October.
October, November. The only thing we would add, Steve, at this point would be.
I understand new
New hires
employees.
out.
That's great. But-
It's going to be the same, then. We're not separating the three girls. We have Wendy.
No, Wendy's part-time. She doesn't qualify.
Sal, it goes back to what it used to be, which the only issue I have, I think there should be parity amongst everyone, contractual and non-contractual. But this does go back to
Yes.
where it was version. And how long has it been at that number?
Well, that's.
I don't remember, I guess, when I was here last.
I think that's been at least as long as we haven't amended the personnel policy in several years, so it's been sitting there for several years. Yeah, probably. So, and again, it's up to you guys, it's, you know,
I'll move it. Can we wait for a second?
we either get a second for discussion or it dies.
Well, the risk of being shot. I would second it.
Okay, now discussion. If you want to make amendments, you need to talk about during discussion. We got first and second.
As long as it goes back to exactly, I understand new hires, and I'm fine with that, as long as it covers the non-contractual employees that we have as to what it always has been.
Yes, I can confirm that definitively, Steve, the way.
No little secret caveats and,
No,
it's always been how your attorneys are. I mean,
No, it's
it's not
been,
stuff.
I drafted it the first time, it was very straightforward, and the revision, and I'll take responsibility for that, I went further than I think was discussed, which is maybe my misinterpretations, back to where it was as of November of last year before we put our upgrades to the policy, where we changed it from 8,000 to 15,000. With the exception of being hired.
I understand.
Yes. And from Jenny's specific standpoint, it would be, if you did this, right now, today, a personnel policy, if she has sufficient time, and she says she has quite a bit, she could get up to 15. If this passes, she would be back to 8, just so you guys are clear. But it would not be a zero situation.
So chief, how's it performing?
Any other comment?
One. Call the roll.
Hello, Babinski,
Yes.
Ortell,
Yes.
Slack,
Yes.
Angeli,
No.
Kern.
Yes. Resolution authorizing the approval and execution of the stipulations settlement regarding Phillipsburg Mall.
Oh, I apologize, I didn't correct the ordinance. Phillipsburg Mall has nothing to do with it. It's the Township of Cohasset
This is the Chick-fil-A tax appeal.
that they filed against us.
This has been recommended by, our our assessors, basically, we have 2 years pending, 16 and 17. Under this stipulation of settlement, 16 would be dismissed in its entirety, so there would be no refund. For this year, calendar year 17, the assessment would go from 1.8 million to 1,650,000. It's a fairly modest reduction, in line with what our equalized assessed values are, so. When we resolve it, pass the resolution. And that takes care of it.
Ben has already signed off.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
For the business purposes, yes. We actually.
On this resolution, Chick-fil-A,
It's a standalone Chick-fil-A. It's just a Chick-fil-A, not the whole mall. Just the single standalone.
it should be up. You can't even find a place to park there. They're doing such a great business.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not giving individual businesses doing it, it's how well the surrounding, economies doing the property as a whole, so that's where you can tell that they sit in the parking lot, an absolute mess of the building, rates all around, just falling, so, I think it's a very modest reduction, and we're limited in 1 year, so.
How it's gonna affect our budget, Kevin, as far as anticipated revenue?
I think they had anticipated less. That was part of the problem, our rate will go down.
I don't know what they did exactly with this one, but it's gonna have fairly nominal, it's a pretty small reduction.
Right, you're only talking 150,000 in assessment.
And the key is we're getting rid of 16 more, so we don't have to pay them back, so that's moving forward to them.
Yeah.
So that's
Still a sizable, it's 8% or something, it's still enough.
All right, so I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Okay, Babinski? Ortell?
Yes.
Slack?
Yes.
Vangelli?
No.
Kern?
Yes. We have the ordinances,
Wanda, did we miss the resolution to authorize that tax sale?
You told me to put it as a motion.
Motion, yeah, okay, I can do it that way.
I wanted to do it as a resolution. I thought it should be.
Send you a resolution?
No. You just gave me that paper and I said, shouldn't this be a resolution?
Okay.
Should we do it as a resolution?
Yes, if you guys could do a resolution to authorize
Make that last one a resolution.
Authorize the mayor to execute assignment of tax sales certificate 604.
Yeah.
Yeah,
617.
what that is, guys, is we own a tax sale, it's a very small tax sale certificate, it's like, I think the purchase price is under $600.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's on an adjoining piece of property, the business acquired the property next to that. They would like to improve it, get it back on the books, but that property is too small to install a septic system. They approached us and said, hey, can we buy your tax sale certificate for full price? They'll conduct the foreclosure at their expense when they get that property. There's an address on it, I think, one, there's.
I don't know where it is. It's block 118, lot 701. I don't
It's not
know.
the church.
No.
No.
Because that's a tiny, you can either share and
Yeah,
stuff
no,
there.
it's not that. It's right up here. So, we're getting our money, and then we'll get this back on the books, because once they can put a full septic system in, it'll be occupied.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good idea. Carrie had no problem with it, she did the calculation, we already have the money.
That's fine.
Yeah, I made them pay us.
Okay. But Kevin, just for housekeeping,
Yes,
I only had that document that you had the mayor sign.
right.
Is there a separate resolution that incorporates that?
Yeah, just make it a resolution, I'll send it to you.
Okay, for inclusion, okay. So that last motion, can we make that a resolution and take action on that now, please?
I'll move it.
Second.
Okay, Babinski, Ortell,
Yes.
Slack, Vangelli,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes.
I'll send that to you, Wanda. I'm sorry. I thought I had them.
Thank you.
All right, anyone have any issue taking these three motions together?
Go ahead, Renee.
I'll make the motion to take the three motions together.
Second.
Okay. Babinski,
Yes.
Ortell, Slack,
Yes.
Vangelli.
I want to know, what's the 604, Route 627, what property is that?
I don't know where it is, Sal. I'm sorry.
627, it's a small piece of property, Sal.
Sal, what's your number?
2-3.
So it's close to you, on the other side of the street.
On the other side of the street, right?
Okay, do you,
I believe it may be vacant because I had required notices to the property owner to go back. Wanda also posted, we did everything pursuant to statutory procedures, so what we're trying to do is get this property revitalized and back on the books.
okay. All right. So what do you say about the 3 motions for the special events for Alpa Vineyard and stuff? You're up.
So moved.
Oh, it's yes or no, so.
I was calling the roll. You say yes?
Yes.
Okay, and Mayor Kern.
Yes. Any public comment? Any general public comment?
Down there?
I think so. I just Googled it. Kevin Melvin, 41 Winters Road. I want to commend the council on the resolution for the sick leave payments. I think that was leading the way. I recognize that the state's got something on the board as well. I can tell you that I lose my sick time every year. So, in fact, I'm probably going to lose 2 weeks because I can't use it by the end of April. So not being able to have that is something that I think it's a benefit, and the fact that it's a nominal, taking it back down to what it was before was a step in the right direction, as well as thinking for the future with regard to new employees and not having that as a benefit. The other thing I just want to be cautious of, I know everybody started licking their chops when we start talking about bonds and all of the capital improvements we may want to make is, again, I've got a ton of stuff that Rennie wants me to do around the house and everything else that has to be done. But the checkbook has only got so much money in it. So, let's be sensible about that and judicious what we're putting into the kitty to, if we're going to raise a bond about that. So as you're starting to think about this, and I appreciate you're putting your wish list together, but just keep that in mind, is that we don't want to overburden ourselves for the future. Thank you. Any other public comment?
Dominic Agesta, 65 Mountain Road. And I want to agree with what Kevin had to say, and I appreciate that everything the council's been working on to keep taxes low, lower expenditures, and I know there's things that are beyond our control, but I know that you all have worked hard, and I just want to remind you that there's still a lot to be done. I recently had the opportunity to meet with a number of township residents, going out having to collect some signatures for a petition. And when I had opportunity to talk with them a bit of time, the overwhelming concern is taxes. Obviously, no easy solution to magically make things change, but there's quite an awareness of the taxes that we pay in the township compared to the rest of the state, great unease about that by the local residents. So I just want you to know that that's something that's in the forefront of everybody's mind that lives in the township. This economy is still coming out of the hole. It's still got a long way to go, especially in the state. And I implore you all to continue working hard and good fight to try and make things a little easier on the township. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Seeing none. We do need a brief executive session for potential litigation. It shouldn't be more than 15 minutes. Action may or may not be taken. Motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Babinski? Wardell? Slack? Vangelli? Kern?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, do I have a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, Kevin, can you read the motion?
We had a discussion about the mediation that's pending between Greenwich and Opaccon on town of Phillipsburg with respect to Phillipsburg sewer billing. And we had talked about this previously about getting involved, and now it seems to be the appropriate time. So I guess we need a motion to authorize me as the township attorney to initiate the process of joining that mediation.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Babinski? Wardell?
Yes.
Slack?
Yeah.
Vangelli?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes. Benefit of the public, it's about basically alleged overcharges in the sewer billing rates. So the idea is to join mediation, get a global settlement so it helps our sewer rates get down. So that's what that's about.
All right. Nothing, no new or old business, so do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor, sorry.
Aye.